Norwegian Airlines announced that they will honor famed abolitionist and former slave Sojourner Truth as a tailfin hero. Truth's photo image will grace the tailfin of their 737 MAX 8 aircraft as part of an ongoing series which celebrates everyday heroes of history. Now, when I first heard Sojourner Truth would be on the tailfin of an airplane, I was a little upset. Like, why does the black woman gotta be on the back of the aircraft? And why is her image on a plane anyway? Who's gonna see that? Other than the baggage handlers and the flight crew who may or may not have just bodied a passenger to get an empty seat for somebody on standby. But then I realized, this is bigger than any of that. At a time when Confederate statues are being chopped down faster than an underage girl without a chaperone at an R. Kelly concert, I couldn't be happier that the face of an escaped slave who helped recruit Union soldiers and gain women's rights is going to be flying all across the world, high above the hillbilly racists who are still fighting about a war that ended 152 years ago. In fact, I see this as a tremendous branding opportunity for slaves throughout history. Think about it. Who wouldn't want a pair of Air Tubmans, the Jordans of walking shoes? Or maybe a set of Henry Box Brown Louis Vuitton luggage to honor the slave who mailed himself to freedom in a box crate. I know it sounds crazy, and this could, of course, go horribly wrong. After all, I don't think bottles of Afro Sheen started flying off the shelves after they decided to feature Frederick Douglass on one of their commercials.
Hey, aren't you Frederick Douglass? Yeah, we studied about you in school yesterday. About how you were a slave and how you took your own freedom, and then began to fight for freedom and dignity for all our people. Say, but what did I forget?
Are you gonna go out into the world with your hair looking like that?
But then again, people have been buying breakfast foods from Aunt Jemima since 1889, so clearly a market exists. And nothing says good morning like seeing a black person dressed up as a slave. And don't worry, white people of the Confederacy, we haven't forgotten about you. Maybe you guys can sell a line of Dixieland binoculars since you're so fond of looking away. Or better yet, a Robert E. Lee pen, like the one he used to sign the document of surrender at the end of the Civil War. While Ain't I a Woman has a lot more gravitas than Ain't I an Airline, I'm just glad Norwegian had the good sense to honor a slave on an airplane instead of on one of their cruise ships. Because the only thing worse than a giant boat leaving Norway with a slave's face on the mast are Colin Kaepernick's chances of being the starting quarterback for the Dolphins this year. As long as the flight attendants don't start singing Negro spirituals or asking me to see my freedom papers, on behalf of freed slaves everywhere, we're good.